Scene one, take one.
Well, that was almost like,
You're good, Tim.
almost like the fade out.
That actually ran to work. It was ran on cue.
Yeah, what's up? What we shot today, bro? How you feel about it?
Feel great, bro. Super tired.
Yeah, it's like 6.
What's good, everybody? In this video, I want to talk about the 3 biggest takeaways that I learned as a cinematographer who just shot their first short film. The short film is called The Stakeout and is a short comedy that involves 2 cops who are obviously on a stakeout, and they're just having a hilarious but very passionate debate about which mob movie is better, The Godfather or Scarface. The short film is directed by Federico Castelluccio, who is most famous for being Furio on The Sopranos, so I can't believe that I got to work with him, because that's just one of my favorite shows of all time. He also stars in the short film. He's one of the cops. Also, Robert J. Morgalo is one of the cops, and he also wrote the short film, and then it's also starring Kenneth, Simmons, who was the 3rd cop. The short film isn't out just yet. I just finished editing it and color grading it, and it's being submitted to film festivals right now as we speak. But please make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date on when it releases, so you can get a chance to watch it, because if you're a mob movie fan, you're really gonna love this one. Not only was I the director of photography or the main cinematographer, but I was also responsible for lighting the short film. I edited the short film. I was responsible for putting the crew together that made the short film happen, and I also color graded the short film. The 3 takeaways that I'm going to be talking about in this video are really going to apply to people who are filming their first short film, are for people who are maybe working with a tiny or no budget at all like we did, or if you're just really trying to get started as a cinematographer. The first major takeaway that I have to talk about, and I don't want to let it go by the wayside, is trust. Trust, 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 trust. I can't overstate it enough. You have to have trust, especially with your team. You really have to allow the people who are going to be on set helping you bring the short film to life, and allow them to do what they're supposed to do. You have to trust them. It's no other way that I can really state this. That goes for an AC who's running around making sure that you as a cinematographer have fresh batteries in your camera. That goes for the grip who is supposed to move the placement of the lights when you're reframing a shot, or someone's going around and telling people to shut the up when someone is talking too loud and you can hear it in the take. You have to trust the people that you brought together to help you bring these visions to life. I was responsible for putting the crew together. It was my first short film, but not only that, it was everyone's first time working on a short film. All my friends were part of this that I really called upon, and I just trusted them. I knew that they would be able to get the job done. I knew it would be a great team, and on set I just had so much trust and faith in them. Even when things weren't going smoothly, it allowed me to really just own in and focus on what I was supposed to be doing, which is cinematography. I'm making sure that what I'm filming is framed correctly, is getting what I'm supposed to get in my shot, and that it's looking as great as it could possibly look with the resources that we have. The trust that I put into my team really allowed us to be really efficient with a little bit of time that we have, because we filmed this short film overnight and we had to finish before dawn. We didn't want any sun in the shots because it was an overnight stakeout. And when I say trust, I really mean it. My brother Noel, who I called upon, he drove all the way from Rhode Island here to Reading, Pennsylvania. That's like a 4-hour drive, and not only was it his first short film, but it was the 2nd time ever filming something. And there was a moment where things were getting a little bit out of control. I was a little bit frustrated internally myself, and he came over to me. He's like, "Hey, I just want you to check out how the shot looked." And I'm like, "Bro, I trust you. Get it done. I don't even have to look at it. I know that as a cinematographer, he was gonna kill it," and he did just that. So those little internal conflicts that you're gonna have while on set, you have to make sure that the people you brought around you, the key grip, the lighting person, the behind the scene person, you know, the COVID compliance officer, whoever it may be, you have to have trust in them. If not, you're gonna be going through an internal struggle that it's gonna make it a rough time filming. The second takeaway, and what really allowed us to make this overnight shoot go as smoothly as it did, is to over prepare. You have to prepare as much as possible before you step on set. Time is your biggest enemy when you're working on a narrative project, and it might seem like a 5-minute dialogue short film like we did would just be 5 minutes to do one simple take, but no, it really stretches out as far as it can stretch out. And you're over there just like counting the time, like hopefully the sun doesn't come up. Time really flies, especially when you're reframing to get a different angle, and then you have to move the lights so the placement of the lights aren't in that new angle that you just lit for. And you also have to really think about continuity, so each angle matches the other angles that you film, so nothing seems out of place and everybody is on set ready to go, and everything just is gonna align perfectly when you're about to edit. So you have to think about these things, and you have to really over prepare. For example, I rented these lights, and to my surprise, the power outlet that I thought I was going to be using was not close enough to reach with the extension cord that we had available. So then I tried to connect the lights to a car adapter, but the car adapter wasn't giving me enough voltage to power these lights. So that was scrapped. I lost like 20 minutes there. And then I called up a friend super last minute, hey, can you bring me a 100-foot extension cord? He came over, it still wasn't enough. So we lost about an hour just trying to actually use the lights that I brought. But see, I over prepared and I wasn't left without any lighting. I actually brought my Nanlite power tubes. Shout out to Nanlite. I wish I was sponsored because I just can't say enough of how great these lights are and how versatile they are. And the fact that they're battery powered and you don't have to, you know, have extension cords, they literally saved us on set. So if I would have not over prepared and brought extra lighting in case those apertures that I rented weren't gonna work, then I would literally have no lighting on set, and you know, it just wouldn't be a good looking short film, obviously. And Federico, the director who also starred in the film, he's a mind-blowing, amazingly talented artist, and he actually hand drew all the storyboards, so we knew exactly what frames he wanted. And once we had the lighting situation figured out after playing around with it for an hour, we locked in and we got to work, and we literally captured everything we could, and we finished at the nick of time when the sun was literally just rising. I have to shout out filmmaker Robert Rodriguez. He has this video on YouTube that someone uploaded. It's called The Making of El Mariachi, the Robert Rodriguez 10-minute film school. I'll link it below.
Let me jump right to the cool part. This is the scene that everyone thinks cost a lot of money. People always ask me, how did you do the bus sequence, for instance, on such a small budget and with no crew or stunt people? Or
literally, I watched this video a couple days before I shot this short film, and it just really changed my entire mind how to approach filmmaking, how to be efficient, how to be productive, how to get as much coverage as possible in a limited amount of time with a limited crew, limited resources. Please watch that 10-minute video. It's really gonna change your life as a cinematographer or as a filmmaker. It allowed me to over prepare, and I was able to get what I was supposed to get. The last takeaway that I came away from my first experience as a cinematographer working on a short film is that filmmaking is all about problem solving. It doesn't even matter how much you over prepare. Literally, you can have all the extra batteries, all the extra lighting, but at the end of the day, you're always gonna have a problem that you have to figure out, that you have to problem solve. In my example, I rented these fancy lights, I had an extension cord, it wasn't long enough, I problem solved, had a friend bring a 100-foot extension cable, it still wasn't long enough, and I was just able to figure out how to light my set by using these Nanlite power tubes that I brought. I wasn't able to get the most fanciest lighting that I wanted, but it still allowed me to, you know, have a productive and successful shoot. Another case could be where your friend who brought his fancy new FX6 and he only had one battery, and about halfway through the shoot it died. So what we had to do was we had to literally park a car 1 foot away from his tripod, and he luckily had that cable that you can power externally. So that solved our problem right there, the fact that he wasn't gonna have another battery and we were gonna lose our second angle that was gonna allow us to just be having 2 angles at the same time. At the end of the day, you can plan for everything, but the majority of filmmaking, what I learned, is all about problem solving. So there you have it. Those are my 3 biggest takeaways. Again, the first one being that you have to have trust on set. You have to trust the people that you brought together to bring this project to life. The second one, like I said, is over prepare. Make sure you bring extra batteries for the camera, extra power cables, extra lights, whatever it could be. Even the smallest little things are usually what causes problems on a set, whether it's like you're missing a tripod plate, or you have a cable that's missing, or a screw. Just have all these different tools that can allow you to make sure you can solve everything as fast as possible. So over prepare for any situation. And then the last one is, again, as much as you over prepare and you think you have everything that you might need, you still need to be able to problem solve on set. You need to be able to think quickly, solve a problem, figure out how are we gonna get this done with whatever it is that we're facing. So again, those are my 3 biggest takeaways. I hope that they help you as a cinematographer first stepping into shooting your first short film, or you're working with 0 budget like we did. I think you're just gonna have to go out there and do it, but yeah, those are my 3 biggest takeaways. So I'm gonna roll some behind the scene footage and give a little bit of commentary just so you can see like what we did, how we lit it, what cameras we used. So yeah, let's dive into that.
Let me know when you want the other one to go. Right behind him.
You got another one?
Yeah, let's take this one as he's going the other way.
Like I said, we filmed this overnight, and we only had obviously nighttime to shoot this, so before the sun would rise. And the first shot that we started with was getting a drone shot.
The only thing I would say though is
he was kind of driving on the left side of the lane both times, and to make it more look realistic, it's 2 lanes, right? So the car coming this way has to be skewed this way, and the other car has to be skewed more to the right, so it looks more realistic. Both cars are skewed to the left.
I had just gotten my Mavic Air 2S, 5.4K, really came in clutch because I was able to get a little bit more dynamic range since we were filming at night. And I was just outside of the radius of the Reading Regional Airport, so I was glad I was able to actually film this thing. I was filming with an a7S3. I filmed it in standard 4K, 422, 10-bit. And honestly, this camera came in clutch because of the 12,800 ISO, dual native ISO capability. Without that, and the fact that I wasn't able to use the lights that I had initially wanted to use, this low light feature really just saved the entire shoot. So I'm glad that this was my camera choice that I eventually, decided to upgrade to. This was a very simple short film. It's a 5-minute, dialogue short film. So everything was pretty much on tripod. We had 2 cameras, one on one side of the car and one on the other side of the car to get both actors. And we filmed everything in 24 frames a second. We didn't need any B-roll or slow motion. One thing that I do not like about the a7S III right now is the fact that when you're trying to play back footage that you just shot and you are using an external monitor, you have to take off the HDMI cord because it doesn't shoot the information to the external monitor, so you just have to watch it on the display. We were just having fun. It was a really, really amazing time. I'm glad this was my first short film experience. I got to do it with my friends. Here's Noel with the FX6 that he just bought, even though he has never really filmed videos before, but he was able to just take that risk, and he must have put himself really out there. This is Federico looking back at some of the footage. Everyone's just really glad how it's turning out. So once we saw that, as you can see, like, we dapped up. We just knew we were on the right path. We were really getting things moving, and now we were just like, yo, let's lock in. Let's really take this to another level. This was such an eye-opening experience. I'm glad this short film, this project in particular, was the first short film that I've ever done, and that I got to do with Federico, that I got to do with Robert, who wrote it and put everything together, executive produced it. And he trusted me to bring my friends to really bring this to life, and we were having fun. We were really, really taking this as serious as we could, and we were just hustling, because we knew that this little opportunity could lead to others, and it's already leading to others. It's gonna be premiering at my MovieCon next Friday, or Saturday, I mean. So I'm gonna be there with some of the actors from The Godfather, Scarface, Sopranos. Like, just the fact that this opportunity presented itself, and I just went full force, and I had no budget to do this. I did not get paid. I just kind of did it off the strength, knowing that this opportunity doesn't come every single day, to work with an esteemed actor and people who really take their craft so serious, and that I was trusted to film it. Here's Sam Papagayo. Highly recommend Sam for audio. This guy was literally, while he was live recording like 6 different microphones, he was mixing and cleaning up the audio. So by the time we literally finished filming, he was like, hey, can you just open up your laptop? I'm gonna dump the audio files for you. And he dumped them. When I got home, I'm like, damn, this sounds clean already. And I just texted him like, yo, like, well, what did you do? He's like, oh, I already cleaned everything. You don't gotta do nothing. And yeah, man, we actually started with scene 2 first, because we had the third actor, the third cop, in scene 2, and we only needed him for literally like 1 minute, or 1 minute in the film. So we got his part out the way, and then we went on to scene 1, which was the entire night of filming. So yeah, Stakeout coming soon. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe.
Yeah, what's up? What we shot today, bro? How you feel about it?
Feel great, bro. Super tired.
Yeah, it's like 6.